I haven't told the story actually. So what I did, well, I put the article that the guy wrote in my Yardage book. So every time I opened it up, I saw it, and that was my main motivation to win, just to prove him wrong, to be the fourth person to win the World Match Play and the US Open the same year. So to join the likes of Ernie, Gary Player, and Arnold Palmer. So thanks. I can't remember who it was who wrote the article, but I want to thank him for the motivation.
So today we are joined by Michael Campbell, who is one of New Zealand's greatest sporting icons. Thank you very much, our first major winner, for joining the Halfway Hut podcast. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. Perhaps you could just, well, you certainly don't need to introduce yourself, but I just wanted to ask you a question with regards to those early experiences on some of those greens where there was sheep not too far away. What sort of shaped your early career?
I think when I was a kid growing up in New Zealand, number one sport obviously is rugby. My dream, my ambition was to be an All Black. I played from the age of 5 rugby to about 15 or maybe 14, and I knew I wasn't big enough, strong enough, fast enough to play rugby or for the All Blacks. So I played other sport too. I played like 5 different sports at the same time, and golf wasn't really one of them. It was more like basketball, tennis, squash, softball, you name it. I was very, very sporty, always outside playing with a ball of some sort of shape. And then I think around the age of about 10, maybe 9, 10, my father dragged me along to Titahi Golf Club, which is where I started playing golf. It's a sheep farm back in the day, back in the late 70s, I think it was. A sheep farm with fences around the greens, sheep everywhere. And that's when it started for me. So back in 1979, 78, when I started playing golf, all I had was one club, a 6-iron, cut down 6-iron that my dad made for me, and one golf ball. So that's how it started for me, the early days. Ever since then, I haven't looked back. But yeah, it took me a while until I got into golf, because even when I started playing golf at 9 years old, I always wanted to play rugby until my dreams were shattered one day. I thought, okay, no, I can't do this anymore. I can't play rugby anymore. So I thought I was focused on playing golf, which I did. And, from the age of 10, I took it seriously. And then, I think my first handicap, because I couldn't join the golf club at Titahi Bay Golf Club until I was 13. And so I played kind of golf for 3 years off and on, but played other sports too. And my first handicap when I was 13 was 33. I'll never forget that. But I loved it so much. And 2 years later, I was down to scratch when I was 15 years old. And that's when it really took off on the amateur scene. So, yeah, that's how it started for me. And I obviously went on from there.
Was it love at first sight with golf?
Oh, no. It's never love at first sight with golf. As you know, beginners who start playing the game, it's very frustrating because the ball, I was so used to a moving ball.
Yeah.
As a kid growing up, a rugby ball or a softball, a basketball or tennis ball or squash ball. But this thing was standing still and I couldn't hit it. So I found it more of wasn't really frustration. It was more motivation to hit it in the desired direction. So that's what really motivated me to play golf and get better.
And in those early amateur days, how much emphasis was put on the mental side of the game as opposed to learning how to hit the ball technically?
Yeah, it was just about having fun. Because my first coach was my dad. I love him to bits, but he's not a golf coach. His handicap was like probably 7, 8 years old, so it's pretty handy, but he couldn't, he just taught me what he knew. Back in the day, there was no internet, no YouTube, no social media, so it's just through reading, books and magazines, basically, and he got me on the right pathway, you could say. But it was just having fun, hanging out with my friends for 4 or 5 hours on the golf course. My parents knew where I was, every single moment. After school, in the weekends, I was always at the golf club. So I was very obsessed with the game. I think that you have to be if you want to, be good at the sport. It's very difficult. Game of golf, or the game itself is difficult, and I just felt like it was very much a challenge. And back in the day, back in the late 70s and early 80s, not many, because I'm a Maori,
Yes.
not many Maori people play golf,
Yeah.
and which was quite hard, really, because there was uh, no, I was hard to kind of like break the mold a little bit more to play the game professionally. When I told my parents I want to be a professional golfer when I was 15, 16 years old. Obviously, they're very supportive, but the people around me were saying, no, Michael, there's no Maoris that play golf. So that was pretty tough, I think, back in those days in the early 80s to think outside the box,
Yeah.
a little bit and go out there and play professional. Yeah, I found it quite difficult because there's a lot of people who said, no, we don't do that.
Right.
So well, we can if you want to. You got to put your mind to it because obviously the Maori people are well known for its rugby league
Yeah.
kind of sports, but not so much golf. So that's why I wanted to break the mold a little bit in that sort of way to prove to the world that the Maoris can play golf as well as play rugby and rugby league.
Yeah. You mentioned a lot of sports there as well in amongst that. Was there anything that you took from perhaps when you were playing rugby that you applied to your golf as well?
Yeah, what really stood out for me was being the team, having people around you. But the only thing I didn't like about this is going to sound very, very selfish, okay? But in my point of view at that time was that I didn't really like being in the team. First thing is referees. I didn't like them. They make human errors and mistakes. Sometimes you have a good day out there on the field and you lose, and vice versa. You have a bad day and you win. And to me, it didn't correlate to success. And so I thought, okay, I would rather play an individual sport. So my score is a true reflection of my performance, and that's why I kind of trended towards playing individual sports because I didn't like the team aspect. I love being with the other guys in the team. It was a wonderful atmosphere. I love that part. Incredible. It's the most important thing I think as a kid growing up is have people around you that support you when things aren't going too well. Have a support team. But I just didn't like the other things around it. The results that come towards you is depending on other players how they perform. Whereas I would rather have a sport that is truly, a reflection of your performance that day, how you score. So, yeah, it's quite a strange way to look at things, but that's how my attitude towards it when I was growing up, when I was 15, 16 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned something about being a Maori. Do you think that shaped your resilience, which helped in the darker times of golf?
I think so, yeah, because I came from nothing. If you think about it, of humble beginnings, I couldn't afford teas. We couldn't afford electricity, so we had to use candles. I lived in council housing,
Right.
so, and all of a sudden I turned pro and I'm globe-trotting around the world, playing these amazing tournaments, golf courses. So I think my humble beginnings put things in perspective. So every time I play poorly, missing cuts, I thought, wow, it doesn't matter. I'm privileged to be here in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's why results never bothered me because to be able to actually play on tour, which I had for 20 something years now, or 25 years, whatever, a long time. It was a huge privilege. I mean, I reached the top echelon of players around the world in my time when Tiger was playing in his prime back in the early 2000s. So, to be amongst those guys and beating occasionally with not only just Tiger, you got Nicholson, you got Dave Duval, you got Retief Goosen, Vijay Singh, Ernie Els, Colin Montgomery, Lazabal, you got Davis Love. I can go on and on and on about these wonderful players in my prime, and to have to say that I've beaten them a few times is a huge privilege. Yes, I have had not so good results over the years, but to me, if I look back on my career, to win 15 times around the world, different continents, winning a major, winning the World Match Play in the same year, which only 4 other people have done it, to win the US Open and the World Match Play in the same year. That's kind of cool. And to be the first Maori to win a major, these I can look back and feel that I've achieved a lot in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great attitude of we hear it when have spoken to some sports psychologists, as they say, to develop this attitude of gratitude, and it sounds
Yeah.
like it's something you've very much got. Now, I suppose before we get to that 2005 year, which is great, can we perhaps go back to 95 at St Andrews?
hmm
Tied third, but leading. What was your mindset? How were you thinking about that whole tournament as it was getting closer and closer towards Sunday?
I wasn't thinking. uh, yeah, I was very surprised. It was my first full year on the European tour.
Yeah.
Rookie year, 95. I qualified through the Challenge Tour. I think I finished second on the Challenge Tour in 94, which made me, allowed me to play 95. And yeah, had a great year that year. I think I finished fifth on the Order Merit. Montgomery won, I think he did. Yeah, I qualified in 95, and after 3 rounds, I shot 65 in the third round, I think it was, and was playing about 25 nights at St Andrews, so it was a tough day. I think the average that day was like 74 or 75, and I shot 65. So, I jumped from 20 something to first, leading by 3 shots from Rocco. And I remember getting to the first tee on the last round. My tee time was 2:35. I never forget that. And I didn't sleep the night before, but yeah, it was pretty daunting. I had no idea what to do. I actually nearly missed the fairway. That first hole at at St Andrews is quite wide.
Yeah.
But I nearly missed it. So it's like 150 yards wide, right? So yeah, I nearly missed the fairway. So that's where my mindset was. That's when I realized I wasn't ready for it to win a major. But the story behind that, I must say, we got time. But basically, on the Saturday night, after my press conference, and you imagine my first big press conference is like 250 reporters from around the world. And I'm talking about, they didn't know who I was, which is fair enough, trying to explain myself. Then I got approached by this management group saying, because I knew that I stayed in Dundee, which is like normally half an hour drive with my family. My dad was there, and my coach, and there's about 6 of us. They wanted to sign me on. So they enticed me by saying, look, Michael, let me organise a helicopter for you from Dundee to St Andrews. Nice. I thought, oh yeah, that's a great idea, which is a big mistake. Because I really enjoyed that trip. It took us an hour to get from Dundee to St Andrews because of the traffic, and I enjoyed that moment of just quietness and with my close friends and my coach and my family, and being young. And I thought, yeah, let's do that. I said, okay, you're 10 off at 2:35. I organised a helicopter to pick you up at Dundee Airport at 1. So get there, get to the airport at 12:30. It's closed. I'm thinking, okay, this is no good start. So and finally it opened up the airport, and then the guy recognised, okay, we've got a helicopter coming in, picking you up at 1 o'clock, and you'll be leaving. And then all of a sudden, about it was 10 past 1, 20 past 1, 1:30, and it finally arrived. So I've got an hour. So I couldn't. There's no option to drive because I would have missed my tee times. Finally came, and obviously you can't land near the golf course. We had to land, I don't know, 2-3 miles away. So I got to the van, I got to the drive, said to the driver, look, just drive as fast as you can to the driving range. And as you know, the driving range is not next to the first hole. It's
quite a
500 meters. Yeah, exactly. So I get to the driving range, I hit 2 shots.
Wow.
And then I'm rushing back, I hit 1 putt, because the putting green's right next to the first hole, right? 1 putt, and I'm rushing to the first tee. So that was a nightmare. It's my fault. I mean, I said yes to it. I sort of said no. I came from a routine. So I can't blame anybody else apart from myself. But that was a bad start. So yeah, that was an experience. But to go back to the last round, with that start, it was horrible. And then I managed to settle down after 3 or 4 holes, and it was pretty tight between me, John, and Rocker. And this when Rocker hold that. We duffed his chip on the last hole and hold his putt to tie John. I missed by 1 shot, but it was a great experience. I mean, to walk down the last hole at a major, especially at the Open at St Andrews, and last group, it's something I'll never forget.
Is that your favourite major British Open major venue?
Absolutely. For some reason, I always play well there. I finished third in 95 and fifth in 2000. Tiger won that. Finished fifth again in 2005. Tiger won that one. For some reason, I just really enjoy playing St Andrews. I don't know why, but it's one of my favourite ones.
It's something about St Andrews. It's just, it feels special. Even before you've got to the course, the town itself, it just feels amazing there. It's just, if you love golf, it is the best place to be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was there recently with friends. It was his 50th, and we played around there. Played the old, played the new at St Andrews. It's just, even on a non-major week, it's still, you can feel the history, the mystique about it. Their first hole, it's wide open, but still you can hit in the burn on the right. It's just, I don't know, it's just a combination of a lot of things, but it's one of my favourite venues when it comes to majors.
You just mentioned their Tiger winning in 05. If we can fast forward from that British Open experience in 95 to 2005, you went through a different route to other players. You had qualified, didn't you, at Walton Heath?
That's right. It was the first time the USGA had international qualifying that year, 2005. And lucky enough, it was like a 45-minute drive from my house. I lived in Brighton at the time. Was played at Walton Heath, which is like a 45-minute drive. I was first off at 7:30. I thought, I'm here, might as well go. I was tired. I played like 4 weeks in a row. I was playing great. And I got pushed out by my wife at the time. She said, look, Michael, just go and see what happens. And so I went, I qualified. I think I hold a 10-footer on the last hole for birdie to qualify on the number. I was the last person to qualify. But the story behind that is that my playing partner, Steve Webster, hit us to 10 feet on the last hole. It's a par 4. And I hit it to 9 feet on the last hole. So we're playing together, obviously. And my marker was right on his line. So I had to move my marker to the right. And obviously I saw his putt foot go first, and I thought it was right lip, and he aimed right lip and went straight. So I moved my marker back and I aimed inside right and went in, lipped in actually. And with that putt, if I didn't see Steve Webster's putt, I would have missed it. Right.
That's mad.
That's bonkers, right? And so I hold it, and I was the last person to qualify. And then, the rest is history.
Yeah. And so you arrive at Pinehurst, Tiger Woods, clearly the heavy favourite.
Yeah.
What's your mindset approaching Pinehurst, knowing that others had qualified through world rankings and you had got through the qualifiers? Was it just another tournament, or was there any elements of differing mental approach, bearing in mind you'd done the qualifying?
Well, I was quietly confident because I was playing so well. From tee to green, my putting wasn't poor, was quite average. So Monday, I had a belly putter. This Monday of the actual tournament. I get there and I'm desperate. I know my putting hasn't been great. So I thought, okay. So I went to Callaway at the time, Odyssey. I said, look, I want a belly putter. So I'm practicing my belly putting. And my coach turns up and he goes, Michael, what are you doing? I said, our mate Jonathan Yelder's his name. I said, Jonathan, my putting's so bad. I'm trying something different. So give me that putter. So I gave him the putter. He threw it in the bin. He said, let's go. So what we did, which is quite good of him, we went to a place called Pine Needles. It's like a 20-minute drive from Pinehurst. And we went there and spent 3 hours in the quietness of the putting green at Pine Needles. And we found what I call a golden nugget, and went back to the conventional putter, normal putter, and I had the best putting rig that week. But another story I want to share with you is that I played with on the Tuesday or Wednesday, Vijay Singh. Vij and I are very good friends, and we like sharing stuff. All the players do, not most of them, but the guys I'm close to, like Vijay and I are pretty good mates. And he was we were playing the practice round, and he's hit these amazing bunker shots. And my bunker shots were coming out kind of like floaty and no spin, and his were coming out really nice and spinny. I said, mate, what are you doing? So he gave me a tip about bunker play that week. And that week I hit in 7 bunkers, up and down 6 times, and hold one. So, I thank VJ as well. But this is great this is what's wonderful about golf, is that when you're friends like that, we always share information, always. Although it's individual sport, you always want to see your mates do well. So, with the putting with my coach and with VJ's tip, I was pretty sharp that week.
Amazing. Can you share what that tip was?
I can't remember.
Yeah, but whatever it worked.
I can't remember.
It's nice that you say that, though, because as you said, it's such an individual sport, and it could be very easy to be like, I'm not helping you because you're against me. Why on earth would I help you? But there's such a friendly spirit in the world of golf at the moment, especially at the moment. You see a lot of the players waiting behind when their friends are walking in, and it's really nice to see and to hear about as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's been going on for a very long time. I mean, if you look at all the different my experiences with getting help from players, they see me struggle, they play with me and they see me struggle, and they said, "Oh, Michael, you're moving your head too much and you're putting." It could be anything, and they said, "Oh, Michael, try this instead. Your chipping's not so sharp today." I mean, I remember Ernie giving me a tip, Teeth Goosen giving me a tip about stuff, Tiger about putting. There's things like that which is wonderful. I think that you have, yes, you got that competitive edge, you want to kick their butts, but there's a certain kindness about it too. Kindness in the sense of helping each other out.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Sunday you're paired with Tiger, right?
No, Tiger was in front of me.
Right, he's hunting you down. That's right.
Yeah.
The afternoon. Were you looking at the scoreboard? Are you a scoreboard watcher?
Absolutely. But the thing is, let me backtrack here. So I've always been a guy that is a goal setter. So I love setting goals for the week. I had, well, not now, but I had a little file of facts. We used to write down your goals. And it could be like break 30 putts for 4 rounds. It could be hit 12 fairways, or it could be 14 greens in regulation. I don't know, something like that, or an extra 5 minutes on the treadmill, things like that. So I always had these kind of goals I set for myself every single week. And funny enough, I remember flying over from London to Raleigh, which is where the airport is near Pinehurst, and on the same flight sitting next to me was Alan Scott. And Scotty and I are pretty good friends, and we're talking about stuff. He said to me, "So, what's your goal this week, Cambo?" And I said, "Well, top 10. He was like, "Okay, that's a pretty good goal." And I said, "If I reach top 10, I'm going to buy myself I love my cars, a second-hand Porsche." So my goal that week was top 10, a second-hand Porsche, 20,000 pounds, maybe 25,000 pounds. Anyway, that was my goal. So what I did was I wrote 911 on my golf ball. So instead of having a dot or mark or slash or whatever it's going to be, or star on your golf ball, I wrote 911.
Amazing.
Love that.
So after 3 rounds, I'm coming third, I think, and about 4 shots behind Goose. And so I crossed it out on the Saturday night and wrote brand new Porsche.
Nice.
But it was top 5.
Right.
Brand new Porsche, top 5.
Yeah.
And then after, I think, 6 holes, Goose had a nightmare, and I was playing great. I was one under after 6 holes, and he was like 5 over. So now I'm leading. So mentally in my mind, I started picturing my brand new Porsche. I went from a career 2S to a career 4S. I went. I was visualizing the color of the brake calipers. I was visualizing the shape of the exhaust pipes, the color, the interior, all this engine upgrade, you name it. That was so I played a game within the game.
Yes.
So obviously my own little game I was playing myself was, visualizing this perfect Porsche. And then obviously the bigger game was the US Open, but I tried to distract myself from that moment of winning the US Open to just focus in on my Porsche.
And it clearly worked.
Yeah, it worked all right, yeah.
I've seen the picture on your Instagram.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And my coach brought the license plate. It was 05 US PEN. That was pretty cool.
So cool.
That is cool.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Have you still got that plate?
Yeah, it's downstairs. Yes, I have. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's really quite a cool story.
That's such
actually,
a
isn't it? I
cool,
love
yeah.
that kind of. What do they call that? Manifesting.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was manifesting my Porsche.
Yeah.
It's quite cool.
And
You hear people say, like, I mean, I get told this because I'm shocking with spending money, but don't spend the money before you've got it. But it's interesting the way you've done it. It's different in the fact that it's distracting you and keeping you in one place, not concentrating on everything else around you.
Yeah.
Quite a cool way of helping with the mental side of the game.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly, because I in my mind, I actually bought the car.
Yeah.
In my mind already. So I was visualizing sitting down with a car dealer, going through all the
Options.
options and ticking the box, engine upgrade, all these things. So in my mind, I actually done it already. So as you say, manifest it. I think the most important thing you got to do is that you got to pretend you've done it already, and it kind of unfolds naturally for you to do it to get to your goal, and yeah, it's kind of crazy, and that's what worked for me. So yeah, but it was fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Challenging, but fun at the same time, especially after 9 holes left, 9 holes to play. I think I had a 1-shot lead. Tiger was playing in front of me. There was like 50,000 people watching him and about 5,000 watching me, which is fair enough. He deserves that attention. And I saw every single shot. I remember on the 10th hole, I was waiting for a ruling because his playing partner had it left in the trees, and he had a ruling, and it's like 10 minutes long, right? And that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Standing on the tee for 10 minutes felt like an eternity. Yeah, it was 10 minutes, and that's when I decided to, visualize an empty cup and filling up my cup with positive thoughts like, I can't remember now. You deserve this. You practice hard enough. It's your time to shine. All these sort of things. All these words started coming in out of my mouth, and I was visualizing pouring all that stuff into an empty cup until it was overflowing with positivity. And there's one sentence that really stood out, and I don't know where it came from. No psychologist taught me this. No one taught me this. But this one sentence, see this as an opportunity, not a threat. And that was such a powerful, couple of words for me. And I felt so good. I felt so in control. When I said that sentence to myself, I thought, I've got this. I know I can say it now, but I kind of knew that I was in a good headspace.
Yeah.
Because that's what it comes down to, right? You mentioned before is that, yes, you got the physical attributes, you got the swing, the whatever it's going to be, but it's a real mental game when it comes down to those last 9 holes, playing against the best player in the modern era. He just won Augusta 2 months before,
Mm-hmm.
So it was very, very special to beat him, especially in his height of his prime.
Yeah, it sounds like we've been talking about this a lot with various guests recently about getting in a flow state. It sounds like even back then you were completely immersed in this. I hear this phrase, I can't remember where I've heard it, but it was a psychologist, it might have been Rotella, and he said, act as if, i.e. act as if you've won, act as if you're a 5 handicap when in fact you're a 28. Doesn't matter if it doesn't have act as if, and you can bring these things to happen. It sounds like with those words that you were pouring into that cup, you were acting as if you'd already won, you'd already got the push, and it was a done deal.
People talk about, I worked with Bob Rotella, lovely lovely guy. He's one of the best in the business, and one thing he taught me was routine. It was a time where I spent 2 hours 3 hours a day with him for a whole weekend. All we worked on was routine. That's all we did.
Yeah. And
my routine was 21.5 seconds.
Wow.
By the time I pulled the club, by the time I hit it. So it almost becomes robotic, without any emotion attached. That was a pretty cool experience. Yeah, I love Bob and what he's put out there. He's worked with all the best players in the world. He's working with Rory, obviously, now. He knows his stuff. And wonderful man. And, obviously, yes, I was out there winning the US Open. but I had a bunch of people behind me. I didn't do it by myself. I know you see us out there winning these trophies, but these are a team behind you: manager, coach, head coach, the trainer, nutritionists. There's a bunch of people behind you that make it possible. So, I was a type of person that kind of like, I like reading books as well, psychology. So I've kind of like picked out things that I like. I think it's important to be your own filter, because sometimes things don't resonate with you. Someone might say something, you go, no, I've been that. And someone else might say, oh, this and that. You go, oh, I love that. So it's all about having, being in control of your own destiny. And that's how you do it. You just have all this information. And unfortunately, especially now with social media, there's a lot of stuff out there that's not good. But as a player who wants to play this game as a profession, it's important you kind of be your own filter.
Yes.
And don't believe what people say all the time. Not just golf, but life, but other things that goes on as well. But I think it's important that you just do that and just because I think everyone's different. Like if you look at all the best players in the world, and this is one thing that really angers me really about social media: method teaching. Well, depends who wins that week. People say you should swing it this way. Well, I'm sorry. These guys are 0.1% or 1% of the top players in the world. You cannot swing a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to swing your swing.
Yeah.
You can't say and jump online, oh, to hit it further, swing like Rory McIlroy. I'm sorry, but you can't, because Rory is a true athlete when it comes to golf. No one swings like Rory because they can't, because they've got the same flexibility, mobility, strength, and power, and all that sort of stuff. So why go out there and do this on social media where these amateurs start watching this and go, oh, I can do that. No, you can't do it. Simple as you cannot do it.
It's true.
It angers. It's like teaching John Rahm to swing like Ernie Els. Wrong answer, and vice versa. So it's like teaching people to swing like Scotty Scheffler right now, who's an amazing golfer, and what he's done in the last 4 or 5 years is incredible. But you can't teach that. Yeah, anyway, that's my rant. It's all over now. I feel better.
Good. We're glad you got that off your chest, Cambo. With regards to 05, you had a cracking experience at Wentworth with the match play. Was your mindset the same there as it was at Pinehurst? Was it that kind of bubble that you were in during that year, or certainly those two tournaments?
Not really. It was a different reason why I won. So it's a Tuesday. I'm on the driving range, and my coach is there, and he's got this piece of paper in his hand. It was an article written by someone in the Daily Mail. He comes over, he's storming, he's frustrated. I can see the steam coming out of his ears like this. He goes, read that, Cambo, read that. I thought, chill, mate. What's going on? He goes, just read it. And it said something like, which I agree with him actually. It says, there's no way that Michael Campbell will win this week because he's not in the same class as Gary Player, Arnold Palmer, Ernie Els, who won the US Open and a World Match Play in the same year, which I totally understand, and I actually agree with that. But that really revved me up. I thought, I'm going to do this. So what I did, I haven't told the story actually. So what I did, I put the article that the guy wrote in my yardage book. So every time I opened it up, I saw it. And that was my main motivation to win, just to prove him wrong, to be the fourth person to win the World Match Play and the US Open the same year. So to join the likes of Ernie, Gary Player, and Arnold Palmer. So thanks. I can't remember who it was who wrote the article, but I want to thank him for the motivation.
Don't worry, we'll look it up.
Yeah,
Put it in the show notes.
yeah, please do. And funny enough, my coach Jonathan has the bib of the World Match Play.
Yeah,
he has the article.
Yeah.
What else is it? Anyway, it's quite funny. Yeah, it's a good story.
Amazing.
Love that. I love that.
Did you find that Wentworth was a course that suited your eye? Was it a nice golfing experience for you?
Yeah, I mean, I played well in the PGA a few times, came second a few times, didn't win it, but I always loved that golf course. It's one of my favourites in England. Obviously, it's changed over time. I watched it, obviously a couple of weeks ago, last week actually, when Alex won there, and it's just especially that the finish. It kind of makes you, because you can go, eagle finish and still win, kind of thing. If you're 3 shots behind, it's where it's so exciting. I think it's one of the best finishes in European golf, because you've got two, especially now with how far they hit it. Not so much on this Sunday just gone because it was wet and cold, but you can reach. But all the guys now can reach in 2 on both par 5s now. So it's a really exciting finish, and things can turn around very, very quickly.
Yeah, it was interesting because I know you saw the post that we put out last week. We had a chat with Ryan Fox, and what was lovely for us is that he was having a practice round with a couple of other younger New Zealand golfers, and it was really nice to see the stages. I know you don't take for granted this because you're very much looking forward with your foundation to the next generation and those that don't necessarily have the opportunities to play, but how important is it for the legacy that you helped achieve? I know that you obviously had other golfers that you looked up to, for New Zealand golf, for the next generations.
Well, I feel that I've got a responsibility now,
right,
to do that. I mean, that's one thing that I've, when you get older, I'm 56 now, I'm in a different space right now. I don't play much golf. I play a bit on the seniors tour. I mean, always looking out for the young kids coming through and from New Zealand, or that part of the world, Australia as well. I think it's a responsibility that I need to take, and I've really loved, sharing my experiences and my knowledge with Foxy when he first turned pro. It's going back 10 years ago now, maybe. I played with him in Christchurch and sat down with him and spoke to him about things, and his father and Grant Fox. And yeah, I think when you get older, you kind of realize that it's time to. You see that with Tiger now, don't you? A lot.
yes.
In his playing day, he didn't really share much. I was lucky enough he shared a few things with me because of that Steve Williams connection. Being a Kiwi, his caddy at the time, and but now you see a lot of Tiger sharing his information, his secrets with the players of this era, and that's where I feel I'm at right now too, with my knowledge. I need to share with these kids and see them grow and get better and hopefully win majors as well and other tournaments.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I read something about that major win. We kind of skipped away from it to jump to Wentworth, but you of course would like to have won more. Most golfers would, but you've gone on record as saying one's enough. Or maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you were content with that win. Could you sort of explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think, I would love to win the Open. That was my main focus, was winning the Open. But, obviously the US Open's it's a nice compensation there. But, yeah, I think for me, I climbed my Everest. I put all my time and effort to winning a major, to prove to myself, more importantly, really, that Maoris can do it. And I did it. And I felt a big weight off my shoulders of, hey, I've done it. Let's move on now. Let's go to the next stage in your life. Yes, I could have won more, I thought, but then I started doing, as soon as I won the US Open, I started doing a lot of charity stuff. Didn't practice as much, didn't go to the gym as much, didn't play as much. Was bouncing around the world doing a lot of charity stuff, raising money for underprivileged kids and stuff like that, and which I really enjoyed. And that was because I think when you do things, when you win a major championship, you put on a different platform.
Yeah.
And I used it to raise money. And I was very happy with how I was. I just felt complete, So, yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, if I just, if I look back now, if I got any regrets, no, I haven't really. Yeah, I could have worked harder and maybe win one more or two more. I don't know. But I was pretty much done after my first one.
Yeah. We've spoken, sorry to jump back a little bit as well, with your heritage as well and with your legacy. What was it like going back home to New Zealand and seeing everyone there after you've won the US Open and the match play as well?
Oh, crazy. I remember we had 10 days in between tournaments, and I said to my management group at the time, I want to go back home. And they said, there's no chance, Michael. There's no time. I said, well, you got to make time. Because it was like a week after I won or something. No, sorry, a month after I won. And I want to go back to share my success with my people and motivate them. And I went home for 10 days. It was crazy, absolute crazy. And I went to all these schools around Auckland and different parts of New Zealand, Wellington as well, to inspire young kids that, anything's possible. That's why I went back. It wasn't for my own personal gain, nothing to do with me at all. I just wanted to say to them that if I can do it, you can do it. I had a dream all those years ago when I was 13, 14 years old on a sheep farm, hitting golf balls, about winning a major tournament, and it happened, and I just wanted to start from the rooftop. Hey, if Michael Campbell can do it, so can you guys, if you believe you can. That's why I went back there. I remember there was a what do you call it, ticky tape parade, when you go on those floaties and they throw down confetti and that sort of stuff. And it was in the main street of Auckland, and it was like 100,000 people turned up. It was just crazy. And the organizer was the lovely guy. I said, that must have been your biggest ticky tape parade. He goes, no. And obviously my ego kicked in. I thought, who was it then? And he said, the Beatles. I said, okay, well, I could, that's definitely bigger than me, the Beatles. But it was just an incredible trip. I was exhausted, but it was worth every single second.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Steve Williams, actually, because he created quite a name for himself. Although being a caddy, he's quite a success story for New Zealand in his own right, isn't he?
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna say something too. In the prize giving of the US Open, normally it's just the winner and all the officials and stuff like that. I remember standing there on the 18th green with all the officials, USGA guys, and the other stuff, TV crew, and I see Tiger next to me, and I said, "Mate, what are you doing here?" Because normally it's just the number one, but he came second, obviously, and he goes, "Well, I just want to show my respect to you, mate." Wow. I thought, wow, that's cool, to have the best player in the world stand next to you. He's lost by 2 shots from me. He's standing next to me. He said, "No, I want to be here because I know, your humble beginnings." And Steve Williams told me about, how you grew up playing golf on a sheep farm and one club and stuff like that. And that was so cool to have him there next to me to share my biggest moment in my whole career.
Amazing. Wow. Yeah, and that shows his humility. No,
it does, yeah.
No doubt. We see, well, certainly, I remember those early days of Tiger being untouchable in terms of not just his ability, but he was so focused to us on the outside as fans, never did an interview, never took a photo, he was just tunnel vision. But clearly, he would have had humble attitude instilled with him by his father. No doubt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The thing is, you got to understand Tiger. I've got to know him quite well. He not as well as Steve, obviously, Steve Williams, but, as a golfer, he was so, he would talk to you, but not really talk to you on the golf course when he's playing a golf tournament.
Yeah.
But once you get away from that, he's actually just a normal guy. He's just a normal guy who likes to have fun and he's quite funny actually when it comes to jokes and stuff like that. He's very witty. But yeah, on the golf course, he's a different animal, which is fair enough, and that's why he was so good. Yeah. There's so many different reasons why he was so good, but that's one of them. He was so focused. Every single shot, he squeezed out 110% of his ability. It was pretty amazing to watch. I play a lot with Tiger, and it was a huge privilege for me, really, and an honor to actually play with him a lot. Because my prime was around 98 to 2005, which he was kicking on as well. So I played a lot with him in tournament play, practice rounds. But it was a big privilege for me to play with him.
Yeah, quite amazing, clearly yeah. We're seeing a bit more of his soft side coming out now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm big time now. I mean, obviously now he's taken the role of being a mentor, which is great for the game, sharing his knowledge and really exposing himself to that kind of thing now with social media, jumping online and giving lessons and stuff like that, which is great. It's great for the game because he's the only guy that moves the needle. Obviously Scotty Scheffler and Rory and stuff like that winning the Grand Slam this year is an incredible feat, what he did, Rory. But he's the guy that moves the needle.
Yeah, for sure. Even when he comes back, it's like well, I'd say he will never compete. It's Tiger, so you just never know. But when he comes back, he'll shoot like 80 or something like that. and everyone's still going crazy over watching him, and all the TV
Yeah.
was always on him. He
Yep.
definitely is. He moves the needle for
He
sure.
redefined the modern game, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So Michael, what's next for you?
Well, I'm kind of like doing different stuff now. I play like 10 Leisure Tour events a year. Not practicing much. I've decided to go in different pathways now with course design, helping my golf academy here. I just released my golf glove, which you can buy on Amazon. I'm just doing other things like that now. I'm just enjoying the time off, and because I know how hard it is. I remember one time I was sitting down with one of my students and told him my routine. As I was saying it, I'm thinking, wow, that's crazy, man. But you had to be that way. But now, I've done it, been there, done that, got the T-shirt. Now it's time to do other things. Just enjoy life. I'm 56 years old. I want to see my kids grow up now and do their thing and just enjoy life, man.
Yeah. We'll put all those links to the glove store, etc., and your website. But I know the foundation is very important to you, and not to really take one over anyone else. But have there been any success stories around the foundation that you're particularly proud of?
I mean, the kids are still like in the brink of breaking through. Some are on the main tour, European tour. Some are spread around the country, around the world. Sorry, and it takes time because if you think about it, it's a real numbers game. And all it takes is one good week, and it changes your whole career. And there's thousands and thousands of kids like them, and needs a bit of luck. You need a bit of luck. You just have a good week, 1 week, and it changes everything. It's all about being patient with these kids. It's challenging. I think the most challenging part is controlling the parents. Sometimes there's been a few. I won't go into that, but
I can imagine. Yeah,
I know what you mean.
But the thing I noticed really is that because of technology has changed everything. I mean, they've gotten better quicker.
Yes.
Simple as that. Now there's instant feedback, scientific facts. Now there's force plates. There's TrackMan, obviously. There's 3D. There's gear systems. There's stuff going on right now around the world. Technology-wise, that makes these kids go. Because I remember back in my day, you used to get a video out and take it one swing and go back to and download it not download it, what do you call it? Put it in the video cassette and put it in the TV there, and it comes up and it's all shaky and furry and fuzzy, and you kind of look, you go, oh, I can't see what's happening, but we'll kind of guess, what's happening here, Michael. And to now, it's like instant, like on your iPhone, iPad, whether. But the feedback or the feedback you get is instant, and that's why you think I see a lot of young kids now come out. So even more so now, the numbers that they're turning out in America and around the world is just incredible. And now they come out winning early on the PGA Tour, the European Tour, the Asian Tour. They come out winning early. These kids, 20 years old, 19 years old, winning golf tournaments. It's crazy. So obviously it's part of evolution in any sport. Which I've noticed over the years, but it's a different game. It's all about how far you hit it. If I get a kid doesn't hit over 300 yards, it's no point in playing the game because it's a massive advantage with the length now with all these courses around the world. You've got to hit it further than 300 yards on the carry, on the fly. Compared to my day, we got taught to hit it straight rather than length, and the ball moved more when I started playing, and now it moves less. I know I'm old school, but I miss the artistry of playing golf now. There's no art to it. It just smashes as hard as you can, which is fair enough. That's the way it's gone. I mean, and you look at all the different other sports too. They're bigger and stronger and faster, aren't they? Running faster. Look at the rugby players. Look at the American football players. The football players themselves. They're just faster and younger, and it bleeds into all sports. And the same, I see that with golf as well.
Do you think there's still a place for an outstanding short game amidst all this new tech and bombers?
Not so much now.
Really?
Unfortunately, we used to talk about Sebi. His short game was amazing because he used to hit it off the world. It's different now. It's a different game. The greens are a lot faster and better quality, I think, week in, week out. I think it's taken away the short game a little bit. because now these guys hitting not 7-iron to the green, hitting like sandwiches to the green. They're 30, 40 yards closer to the green now. So now it's all about wedge play and distance control with your wedges rather than the short game. You know, from 70, 80 yards or 100 yards, you're not going to miss the green that very often. So that's where, you know, all these kids are practicing as much as they should do in the short game. Whereas back in my day, it was more a combination of everything. Accuracy, not so much distance. Distance control with your irons, short game, bunker play, and putting.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. That's
amazing.
I mean, that's what I'm working on as well.
Well, we're past it now. So I'm knocking on the seniors tour, and even then, I was at Sunningdale a few weeks ago for the senior open, which Paul Drake Harrington won. I mean, he still hits it.
He sends it still.
He does, yeah. It's great.
It was amazing seeing David Duval right in front of you. The crowd. I went on practice day again, like we did with Wentworth. Crowds were minimal. It's great to be able to get up close and personal, but still, even Sunningdale off the tips is a fair hit for the senior professional tour players. You need to be able to hit.
Yeah. Obviously, we're short apart from Podrick. He's the only guy that's kind of kept his length or even got longer. But he started that journey about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
But that's Podrick for you. He's a real tinker, thinker and tinker.
Yeah.
I love him to bits. He's a good friend of mine. But I love the way he, because he was telling me, we talked a lot about that sort of stuff. He said he's hit as far as Scotty Scheffler, 176 ball speed kind of thing. But he's just he just cracks me up. That's what I can say about Podrick. I love him.
Amazing. Well, look, Michael, thank you so much for your time. This has been a bucket list interview for me personally, having watched you one in your peak of your career, and of course that major in 2005. So from both of us,
yeah, for sure.
Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure, guys. It was fun. Thank you.